you're joining us, Dr. Quraishi. Let me ask you the big question. We've seen scenes in Maharashtra that are perhaps reflective of what's happening in several parts of the country. Just a day before the elections in Maharashtra, a BJP National General Secretary accused by his opponents of distributing cash, a diary allegedly found, over 9 lakhs in cash recovered from the hotel. How do you see it? Because it seems the worst kept secret in Indian politics and Maharashtra politics is just how much cash is now involved in electioneering. Are you surprised?
Yes, Rajiv, you and I have discussed this issue for years, several times. And you remember, I have conceded that this is one problem which Election Commission has not been able to solve. The money problem in the election, in fact, has aggravated. And therefore, I'm not surprised that if this kind of a thing has been noticed. But you can't go by allegations alone. There has to be some evidence. And if there is some evidence, prima facie evidence, the Election Commission should immediately get inquiry done and take legal action. Legal action is possible under the IPC, under the Representation of People Act.
Sir, but you know, and we've discussed this in the past also. It seems from your answer that you're suggesting that you're throwing your hands up in helplessness and saying that, look, the Election Commission has tried in the past to curb money power, but we can't do anything about it. I mean, are we saying there is no deterrent if politicians are found allegedly with cash just before an election? Is this simply the Election Commission that helpless in this country that it's unable to stop this?
No, not at all. In fact, even if this guy is a senior official of a party, if there is enough evidence, the action should be taken. If there is an FIR against him, and action is taken, that is the biggest deterrence. Then others will draw lessons from that.
But sir, the FIR has been filed, but it seems at the moment the FIR has been filed in a manner that it's unlikely to result in any swift action. Tomorrow is the voting. 3 days from now is the counting. People will forget about what happened. In such cases, if any politician is found with cash, should there be an immediate, based on prima facie evidence, should there be detention of the individual or an arrest?
Yes, I would think if cash was found with him, he should have been even arrested. Because this is state, if you allow him to get away, because inquiry and FIR, the result will come after a long time, it will have no impact. Because the obvious thing is that we should take action immediately and strong action without the pick and choose and without discrimination.
Because we've seen, Dr. Quraishi, in the past, and this is not just true of Maharashtra, but across this country, lots of cash being seized by the Commission or indeed by the Election Commission and the police flying squads before every election. But very few people are actually ever arrested or put behind bars for what seems a brazenly corrupt practice. I mean, if it was an ordinary citizen who was caught with cash or such allegation, the agencies would have probably acted immediately. Is it a lack of will or an infirmity in the law that prevents the police from taking action against politicians if they are caught with cash on them?
Well, the Election Commission doesn't recognize any senior politician. The Election Commission has taken action against chief ministers, against ministers, central ministers. So therefore, they are all equal in the eyes of law and in the eyes of Election Commission. The question is of taking effective and prompt action. And in fact, you raised the right question. What happens to the money which is seized? Some might be released because they may prove that it was a genuine transaction. But what about the others? We have never heard anything from Election Commission in the last 10 years. I admit that we really don't know what happens after that.
No, but it seems to me, sir, that in all such cases, there's a lot of drama created before the election and then the matter gets conveniently forgotten. Am I right in saying today that the Election Commission in particular, its bark is worse than its bite when it comes to cash and the use of money power?
But they're not even barking lately.
They're not even barking lately, but I just want to ask you this, that when we've been covering this election in Maharashtra, We've seen visibly how the money in the hoardings, virtually every hoarding in Mumbai, surrounding areas is that of a political party. Most of them, 90% of them, I can tell you, belong to the ruling party. Does the Election Commission take any real account of the actual expenditure that parties are putting into election, the income tax authorities, or is it surrogate advertising? Is there any calculation being done in your view by the Election Commission of the actual money that parties are spending? And if they are not, should they be doing it?
You know, there is a major and basic problem there, that while there is a cap on the expenditure by the candidate, there is no cap on political party expenditure. You may spend 95 lakhs, which for a Lok Sabha election, for instance, or whatever, is the 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs now, but your party can spend 20 crores on you. So since there is no limit on, and I have been crying holes that there should be a cap on political party also. Otherwise, it makes a mockery of any expenditure ceiling. So party can spend 20. So the hoardings which you are talking about must have been put up by the parties, and there is no check on them. Legally, there is no check on them. And we borrowed our system from UK. In UK, the political parties also have a cap on their expenditure.
So, but there is no real, whether it's political parties or even individuals, where is the expenditure cap on individual 95 lakhs for Lok Sabha, 45 for Vidhan Sabha is routinely violated. Every politician I speak to off the record admits that they are spending crores of rupees on these elections. So, I mean, the whole thing seems a bit farcical, if I may say so, sir. Sorry to say that.
Yes, in fact, they have told us also that we have spent 10 crores, catch us if you can. And the fact is that we need the law requires evidence only from hearsay and from media report. The Election Commission cannot take any action.
Are you telling me that candidates have told you they're spending 10 crores and more and saying, catch us if you can? Is that what you're saying, that candidates have actually come up to you and said, we're spending 10 crores on the campaign, catch us if you can?
Yes, indeed, they have. They have. And in fact, in Maharashtra, you remember there was one politician who publicly said that he had spent 8 crores. Well, what happened? There was a little hue and cry in the media, but nothing happened. I don't think that politician, that leader is there anymore. But he said it publicly.
So how do we call what we are probably going to see in Maharashtra tomorrow, any other part of the country? How do we call it free and fair elections? If money in such large amounts is skewing the political field, do we really have free and fair elections in the country, Dr. Quraishi?
You know, we need a strong political will, which is missing. And every political party, they all seem to be happy. Sometimes in conferences, seminars, they might say that money, power is troubling them. But nobody wants to control it. So, and they're in this race all the time.